Hey, what is up, everybody? My name's Albert. Welcome to my channel where I am documenting my journey at my attempt to make several $1,000s every month selling Tesla puts. My goal for this channel really is to be able to learn cool stuff and also share with people what I'm learning in hopes that they find it helpful and hopefully applicable to their own lives. Also, I find that making these videos helps me learn faster. I do want to make this channel where I am actually sharing what my trades are before they actually make or lose money. I do think it's more interesting that way. So every Friday I'm releasing how my puts ended up doing, what new puts I'm selling, and yeah. And in this week I'm gonna go over what happened this week in Tesla. A lot has happened this week. I'm gonna cover what my original strategy was. I'm also gonna cover what I ended up doing this week to cause me to lose money. I'll give you an update on my current puts. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about what I learned from this experience in terms of losing money for the first time since I started the channel, or since I started doing Tesla puts, and also what I'm going to be doing to adjust to move forward. All right, so today is November 12th, and on November 6th, last Saturday, CEO of Tesla, Elon Musk, tweets to his Twitter followers and says, "Hey guys, I'm going to sell 10% of my Tesla stock. What do you think I should do?" I'm going to do whatever this poll says. And everyone votes yes. And just so you know, 10% of his Tesla stock would be like 2% of all the Tesla shares outstanding. So it's not a huge amount. Anyways, he tells everybody he's going to do this. And what happens on Monday? Monday, Elon starts selling. Side note, Elon also purchased a portion of his options, 2.15 million options to be exact, for $6, roughly $6 each. This is a taxable event, so he has to pay taxes. He doesn't have any cash. So he has to sell 900,000 shares to pay this tax. This is not part of the tweet, I don't think. Or maybe it is, I don't know. But he planned this since September 14th through a 10b5, which is a way for you to let someone else sell your shares so it won't be insider trading. All right. Monday comes around, the stock falls 3% midday, and then later on it falls another, I forget how much, some percentage. Okay. Tuesday's the day where I get owned. Elon sells 3.6 million shares, the stock dips 12%. And then we later find out Wednesday he sells less shares, 500K. Thursday he sells 639K. And just so you know, we're finding this out about 2 days later because they're filing double Form 4s. And this is how we're finding him out. Okay? So at the time of the tweet, Elon had about 170 million shares. 10% would be 17 million. So he has to sell 17 million shares. So far, he sold about 5 million. So I believe that he's going to sell about 12 million more. What we don't know is if 10% is actually 17 million or 22, because if you include the stock options, that would be 22. And we also don't know if he's including the first 900K in that million as well. But hey, you know, he's going to sell more shares. I'm pretty sure of that. All right. So, quick recap on what my November strategy originally was. I was currently selling 7 puts at a time. I was selling 1 put every 5 weeks out. So I already had 4 weeks. I already had 1 put for each Friday of November out. I was making about $3,000 per put. I was going to make $12,000 per month on those puts. Then I was going to start selling weeklies where I'm making about $1,000 per week, profiting $8,000 per month if all goes well. And then at the end of the month, I was going to make $20,000. That was the original plan. What did I do? What the fuck did I do? Well, if you were to back up a little bit, what I did was I had done a couple of things. Number one, I bought a lot of Tesla stocks. I bought like 40 shares of Tesla stocks last week at an all-time high, even though I should have been holding this cash to secure puts. I sold way too many puts, and then even on Monday, I was feeling so good, I even sold extra puts. So on Monday, I saw that dip, the 3%. I thought that was the reaction to the news. I was like, hey, Tesla's invincible. We're gonna be fine. And I sold three more puts, right? So why did I do this? In retrospect, I was definitely overconfident. I got really greedy, super greedy. The last 3 puts that I sold on Monday is what killed me. I did that on impulse. I didn't think much about it. I already knew what was gonna happen, but for some reason after the Monday, after the Monday dip, where it only dipped a little bit, I got overconfident. Yeah, I just thought it was really easy. I've sold like 20 Tesla puts already, and they all finished deep out of the money. I got real careless, so that's what happened. Okay, so come Tuesday, so this is say sometime mid-Tuesday. I started the stock started tanking, and I started losing a lot of money, and it's very difficult to track what you're doing at the same time as you're losing a lot of money. So I just took a screenshot so I can share with you later. But yeah, I didn't really document every single thing that I was doing. But you can see here at this point of time on Tuesday, I have 14 puts out, and they're all losing money. At the same time, I'm securing a lot of these puts with margin of my Tesla shares, and that's also dwindling as well. So because of this, I decided to start buying these puts back, and I start buying them back at a lot less or a lot more than I paid for them. Okay, so all in all, I had about 14, and I dwindled it down to about 7. And you can see here some of these puts are all pretty safely bet, right? So I'm selling them for about 8, 10, 12% strike price below the stock price. They're all pretty decently far away, but I just didn't expect for someone to tweet that they're going to sell 10% of their shares and drop the price 12%. Okay, so long story short, I was able to do a couple things. I was able to buy some back. And in November, I had this plan, this master plan. Instead of making 20K, I was going to make 30K. But all in all, if the puts that I have that are currently doing well, if they all end up finishing out of the money, I'm only going to lose $4,500. Okay, so instead of making 30K, I'm going to lose 4.5K, which is not a big deal because it could have been a lot worse. Also, I've been making money the last few months. Okay, so what did I learn? I learned a lot of things. I learned that I should definitely stick to the original plan. It's very important that you stick to your original plan. I had a plan; it would have worked out. I think most of the puts I sold would have finished out of the money, and whatever was kind of slightly losing, it wouldn't have been a big deal. Wouldn't have been a lot. Just for some context, the last 3 puts that I sold right here, you can see that I sold them for about, I made about, let's say these 4 puts, I made about 15K. And then I had to buy them back for a lot more than 15K, right? So, so yeah, and this is what's happening here is as the puts are losing, I'm losing money on these puts. They're getting more and more expensive to buy back. My margin is also decreasing, right? So I feel forced to sell because I don't want to get forced to sell later on. So basically, it's very hard to think clearly or to diamond hand when you're on margin because there's a lot of other things that could happen. If I could just hold through it, like if I'm holding the stock only and the stock price falls, I'm happy because I can buy more, right? When it's on margin, you're selling puts it's not great. So the reason for this that I have to start buying these puts back is because I got really greedy. I got way too greedy, and I was really moving the goalpost, right? So for some context, when I started doing this, my goal was to sell make $2,000 a month. And then I discovered this is actually really easy to do, and it makes a lot of sense to me. So I made 2,000, then I made 6,000, then I made 12,000, then I made 15,000, and then I was gonna go, oh, maybe I can make 20,000, but I jumped to 30, right? And then while I was jumping to 30, I was jumping to 40 in December. So I was going way over what my original plan was, almost double. And yeah, I wasn't being grateful for let's say the 12K I made last month or the 15K I made last month. I was kind of thinking about the future. And yeah, so anything can happen, and it happened to me. I'm actually happy it happened to me this early on, because if I had continued to do this and then it happened to me a little bit later, then I would have been in a lot more trouble. Yeah, like I said, if everything ends up closing, I like lost on 7. I'm gonna make money on 7, and overall, I'm only gonna net a negative $4,000. So $4,500, everything goes well. So not the biggest deal in the world. It was a wonderful learning experience, and I don't want to go through that again. So I'm gonna be very careful. Another thing that happened, which is really cool, is I was able to execute a awesome roll, and I think it's awesome to me because I'm new at this. I've read a lot about it. I've never actually done it before, mainly because everything I've sold has finished deep out of the money. This is the first time where I lost money on something. Unfortunately, it was on a lot of things at once, but I did manage to do one roll. So I want to walk through this real quick because I thought it was cool. So some time ago, about 5 weeks ago, I sold this put. I sold 2 puts. No, that's not true. Last week, I sold 2 puts for $10.45, and I made $3,000 for it. Okay, so that means that for November 12th, which is today, I promised to buy Tesla stocks at $10.45. Okay, and for that, I get a premium about $1,500, about $3,000 in total. On Tuesday, the stock price tanked to about $1,020 at some point, and at that time, the $3,000 that I had gotten paid for it, it was now worth $9,000. So if I wanted to buy it back, I had to pay $9,000, which would have resulted in a $6,000 loss. And I had already started buying puts back where I was losing money. So I didn't want to keep doing it. So what I did was I rolled it. And what that means is that I'm actually going to buy this put back, but at the same time, I'm going to sell a different put that's a little bit farther out to counteract this cost, right? So what happened was I had sold another put, but I rolled it out till 990 because the price at the time of selling is 1020. Then I am getting a pretty decent premium for it, right? So for some context, when I sold this 1045 put, the price is probably close to $1,200, right? So I only got $3,000. But now that's 1020, I can sell a 990 put. I can collect $11,000. So instead of paying $9,000, I actually collected $2,000, right? And then now I have a 990 put that will expire in November 26th, right? So if it finishes above 1,000 or it finishes above 990, then I actually will make $2,000 instead of lose $6,000, right? So this is how it works. I don't know if this makes sense, but here you can see this is the put I had out. It was the 1045 put times 2. There's a 2 here. You probably can't see because my face is in the way, but here you'll see that I have made $3,000 from this. At the time of the screenshot, I was already down $3,600, and it got lower later on. And instead of spending that money to buy it back, I rolled it. So I bought it back, but at the same time, I sold this put right here, this 990 put, and I collected $11,000 for that. And you can see whenever I took this screenshot, it's actually positive $6,000. So if it expires below 990 by Thanksgiving, then I would have kept this entire $11,000. So instead of losing, I get to make this money. So that was a cool put I did. Just want to share that with you. Okay, so what am I gonna do moving forward? I'm gonna scale way back. So to be honest, I got really lucky. I got really lucky that the stock bounced back where it did, and also a lot of the puts that I sold were from farther back. So the strike price was relatively low, and it didn't hit that low. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back to my original plan. Actually, for the next few weeks, I probably won't sell any more puts, just because Elon Musk is selling shares. So I'm just gonna wait it out for a little bit. I'm gonna stop selling so many puts at a time, and I'm gonna stop trying to get more and more aggressive on the strike price. I think I was spoiled by when I started this. It was like any put I sold just really made money. And that's less of a skill part on me and more of just a luck part on how the market was doing, right? And I'm learning that as we go. So I'm going to aim more for longevity because I do believe I can do this for a while because fundamentally Tesla stock price will continue to grow. I do think selling weekly puts is a little bit aggressive. Selling ones about 5 weeks out is a little bit less aggressive. And you won't get as affected as much, if Elon Musk tweets something hella stupid again. So yeah, I'm not blaming Elon for my loss. The reason I lost money is because I sold too many puts. I got way too greedy. If I had done my original plan and he tweets, I probably would have still made money instead of lose money. Maybe not as much, but it's really my fault because I had gone way too aggressive and gone over the limit that I had set for myself. Okay, cool. So I hope this helps. Hope you learned something from my mistakes. And if you got here, please like my video if you like it. And also, please subscribe. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.